Hi guys, my name is Clever Chinekwe. I help businesses increase their sales online. And in today's tutorial, we'll be going over how to create a styled landing page with Tailwind CSS. Okay, so this is what the page would look like, having a navigation menu, a hero section, a features area, a testimonial, and a call to action button followed by a footer. So for us to get started, let's understand and have an introduction. Developers use CSS to style websites, but often when building large websites or applications, it becomes tedious to write these rules from scratch. This is why there are many CSS frameworks to help make writing CSS easy, such as Bootstrap, Foundation, Boomer, Pure, Materialize. But Tailwind CSS is a framework that is somewhat different from the ones previously mentioned because it doesn't have a default theme and there are no built-in UI components. Tailwind is a utility-first class framework for rapidly building custom user interfaces. This means that if you're looking for a framework with a menu of pre-designed widgets to build your site with, Tailwind might not be the right framework for you. Instead, Tailwind provides highly composable, low-level utility classes that make it easier to build complex user interfaces without encouraging any two sites to look the same. In this tutorial, we'll build a landing page to showcase a smart health monitoring wristwatch product to customers. The final product we've looked at, which would contain a navigation, a hero section, a future section, a testimonial, a call to action, and finally a footer. A prerequisite, a basic understanding of CSS may be helpful, but it's not required. For us to get started, we would create a new folder called, we would create a new folder and call that Tailwind landing page. Good. And then we'll open this folder with a Visual Studio Code editor, which is my favorite. So Visual Studio Code editor opens the folder and we'll have something like this with that folder name. And then we need to we'll start by creating the new repository, which we will call Tailwind landing page, and then create a file called index.html file inside. Call this index.html file. And then to get up and running quickly with Tailwind CSS, we will grab the latest default configuration built via a CDN, which is a content delivery network, and add the following code snippets. So let's generate a boilerplate. Asterisk, generate a default boilerplate, and we can call that Tailwind landing page to be the title. And we'll open our browser and visit the Tailwind CSS website. Okay, and then go to the play CDN and simply copy this whole boilerplate if we didn't generate it initially. Okay, so I'll replace that this. And after adding the code snippet, in this snippet, we gave the body a white background and pulled the source sans pro font. This. Okay, all right. So for us to get started, step one is to build the navbar. The navbar will be divided into two columns. The first column will hold the logo and the second column would hold the navigation links. For us to create that, we would open this file in our web browser to see what it looks like. All right, so this is what we have, and you can see no padding or margin, which means Tailwind CSS has been installed into our file. All right, for us to continue, let's add the navigation. But first, okay. All right, so we'll do that by adding the nav tag, and inside our nav tag, we want to have a div with container class mx auto padding x 6, which is to add spacing on the left and right, padding x, and then padding y is to add spacing at the top and bottom. All right, so we want to have these classes. Container .mx auto .px 6 .py2 .flex .justify between, then finally items center. All right, so this creates a div with those classes, and then we say we want to have two components inside of this div. First is our logo, which we blank for now, and inside of the anchor tag, we want to have a few classes which would have font to be bold, text should be to Excel, and a large screen text should be for Excel. All right, inside our anchor tag, we want to have SHMW, which covers the first column would have. The next, we want to have another column with a class of block and large screen to be used. All right. Next, we want to have a button that will have a class of flex and items center and x 3 py 2 have a border should be rounded, the text should be gray 500. All right. We'll check this out and see what it looks like. All right, so this is what we have so far. We want to continue building the second column, which is this. So we'll have a button to add the hamburger menu, and that button will display as is this thing on SVG. Then in there we want to have title, and our title would be menu, and a part, paste in here. Then finally we want to close the SVG tab. All right, and just to start this a little, adjust this to look good. All right, this is better. All right, so after adding that button, we want to go below the div and add another div with a class of hidden with another class of LG block. Inside there, we want to have an unordered list class of inline flex and some list items, anchor tag with padding x4 forms. This will point to the home page. I will give it a text of home. We want to have about 2 more projects about the next one, contact. All right. Next, we want to have some hover effect. This hover text should be gray. 800. Something like this. All right, so if we check on our browser, this is what we have so far. And you can see those hover effects. Okay, I think let's make this view so we can see those effects properly. So you can see that we've successfully created a navigation menu, and on a mobile device you can see it's responsive, and at the setting width it forms a hamburger menu with those nav links in it. All right, we've successfully been able to create an application. The next would be to create a hero section, which we'll cover in the next video. Thank you for your time, and thank you for staying tuned. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and suggest with a comment what videos you'd like us to create in the future. Clever Chinekwe, a freelancer and digital marketer.